So, first of all, can you start off by giving us some highlights of 20th anniversary celebrations? What will guests, when they come, see that's new and exciting?
Well, when the guests come into our park for our 20th anniversary, the first thing they'll notice is all of the decoration that we've put up in the park. As you enter in, before you even get into Town Square, there's 20th banners everywhere. There's a lit 20th sign on the train station, which really plunges you into this whole celebration. And then as you go through Town Square and up Main Street, we've got banners and garlands, as if the residents of Main Street have really decorated their town for this wonderful birthday. But of course that's not all, because you will also stumble across the 20th anniversary celebration train. Now this is a train that is coloured, really multicoloured, very bright, very vibrant, lots of sparkles, which brings the characters into the park. So it's bringing Mickey and all of his friends into the heart of the park, in front of the castle. And this is where the characters will get off the train, and they will come and meet with all of the guests. So, as a guest, you'll be able to see the characters, you'll be able to meet and greet with the characters, but also the characters have brand new costumes for the 20th anniversary. So they have the most incredible costumes. They're dressed almost like magicians, because, 20th anniversary is all about bringing magic and colour and light and transformation to the park. That may be one of the first things that guests will be able to do when they come in to visit us this year. And then later in the day, the guests will also be able to experience our new parade, Disney Magic on Parade, a brand new parade where it's once again the magic makers who are really the highlight of this parade. The parade opens with the fairies, with the Blue Fairy, with the Fairy Godmother, with Merlin, with Flora, Fauna and Merryweather from Sleeping Beauty. So all of the fairies who actually make the magic of all the Disney classic films, and they've given their little touch of magic to the whole parade. So following that, you'll find the units of Peter Pan, the worlds of Alice in Wonderland, the worlds of Mary Poppins, the worlds of Toy Story, the worlds of Winnie the Pooh, the worlds of Lion King and Jungle Book, and of course the Disney princesses, including Rapunzel, who is going to be in the parade for the very first time this year. Rapunzel, a very, very popular character, is in the parade with Flynn Rider. And then the parade all finishes with a huge finale float, which is a brand new float. And this is where we find Mickey and all of his friends once again in their beautiful 20th costumes, as the magicians who finish up the parade to give us that final wow and finale. And in actual fact, if you follow the parade down afterwards, there's a little surprise on the back of the last float as well. There's one last magician who sprinkles her pixie dust as the parade goes by. So, a brand new parade, brand new music to the parade, a very uplifting song. Really one of those songs that once you've heard it, it will be very difficult to get out of your head. We always say that about the attraction, It's a Small World. You go on the attraction and you end up singing It's a Small World for the rest of the day. Well, the new parade song is very much like that. It's called Magic Everywhere, and once you hear it, it's there, it's everywhere. A very successful song for us, because I think it brings a great energy to the parade. And then, of course, later in the day, we have our big nighttime spectacular. And this is really the show not to miss. This is a world premiere show that has never been done anywhere else before, created specifically for us here in Paris. We've taken all of the latest technology of projection, of fountains, of using water screens, of using fireworks, multicoloured lasers, some flame effects, some fog effects, and bringing all of that together on Sleeping Beauty Castle. So we have fountains that dance in the moat in front of the castle. We have these projections that just tell the most cute little story of Peter Pan's shadow, who escapes, and the shadow takes us on this journey into the world of Disney dreams. Well, to help us get there, we use the magic of the second star, and Peter Pan's shadow actually flies up to the top of the castle, and we have a real star that has come out of the top of the castle with LED lighting that changes colour and is so bright you can honestly see it for miles. So Peter Pan's shadow takes us on this journey through the pixie dust, and we visit the worlds of Beauty and the Beast, we visit the worlds of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, we visit the worlds of Tangled and Rapunzel and the other princesses, we visit the world of the Jungle Book with adventure. We have a little bit of a hiccup with Captain Hook, who thinks that he's actually caught Peter Pan. But no, Peter Pan comes back and saves the day, saves his shadow, and takes us into this uplifting finale, where we really fill the sky with pyro, with fireworks, fountains, huge bright white lights, really an uplifting end to a fantastic show. And once again, all to a beautiful soundtrack that was created specifically for the show.
Yeah, definitely. We really enjoyed the all the effects. In particular, I liked the baddies and Shadow Man and some of the people that we haven't really seen before.
Yeah.
Can you speak quite briefly about how some of that was made? I found myself wondering, how do they get Quasimodo to actually look like he's crawling down the different bits of
turrets?
The castle?
The projection that we use is called a 3D mapping projection. So basically what happens is we do a laser scan of the castle, and then we create a model of the castle. This model is then put into a computer system, and the media is warped, basically. It's wrapped to fit this 3D model. So then we can project onto the castle. And the whole system is that you project the castle onto the castle, and then you project images on top of that projection. So effectively you can make a character fly behind things and around things and up and down, because you've got a double layer of image. It's instead of just projecting onto the castle just directly, you wouldn't have that effect, but because you have the double layer, you have somewhere to go, basically. So it kind of brings another dimension to it. And Quasimodo, for example, in the Hunchback of Notre Dame scene, was actually animated for us, for our show. So we could animate him how we wanted to, and I think it's one of the fabulous effects where he spins around, because you do, how does it work? And I asked myself the same question the first time that I actually saw it live on the castle, because we talked about it and you see it on a computer screen, but when you actually see it live on the castle, it changes everything.
Exactly. Going back also to the Magic on Parade, I've been told you may not reveal this, but at the beginning, when you have the fairies come out and begin the parade, and they really are gliding, can you reveal how they do that?
It's just magic. The fairies glide because of the magic that they have. It's once again one of those Disney touches that we like to put into our shows, that people do say, how do they do that? And it's funny because I've heard several versions. Are they on roller skates? Are they on skateboards? Is somebody commanding them and a remote control? It's magic.
So obviously times have changed in from 1992 until now. How has the park changed? There are new rides and whatnot, but has it changed in other ways in terms of fitting in the world in general?
I think the park in itself, the message of the park has never changed. We're still into this wonderful imaginary world. Leave your cares behind as you come through the gates into our world. I think it's even more of a challenge today to help people let go. Because I think that with technology as it is today, everybody has their email on their telephones, and you can't leave work behind or everyday life behind as easily as maybe 20 years ago. But which makes our job, even more important here, to really give people that break and let them immerse themselves totally into the world of fantasy. There are certain elements that we have included in the park about information sharing and everything that through telephone systems we have access to. So for queue lines, I believe there's an application that we can use here that guests can use to actually find out the latest queue line for wait time for attractions, which is always very helpful. But from a pure emotional standpoint, I think that if we can suspend belief, and if we can still encourage people to ask, well, how did they do that, then we're still in a very good place.
All right, great. I guess finally, I'd like to ask, people come here, I assume for different, some for just a weekend, some for a week. obviously different ages want to do different things, but what are the kind of don't miss things? Obviously, the new parade, the new spectacle at night.
Yeah.
Other things?
I think that, there's so many things not to miss in the park, and it really goes for every age group. I mean, the attractions in Fantasyland for the younger guests, Discoveryland and Space Mountain for the teenage market who want the thrill market, and even for an older generation, the beautiful gardens and the landscaping that we have in the park. And then as specifics, I would say my favourite attraction is Pirates of the Caribbean. The daily parade, Disney Magicon parade, meeting the characters with the 20th anniversary celebration train, and finishing the day with Disney Dreams.
Okay, I lied. One more question. Souvenirs. Also, there's a lot of souvenirs there that have the 20th on there, which is quite special. So when you come in this year, you can take away something special. Can you talk about any of your favorite kind of 20th anniversary souvenirs?
The merchandise product that we have for the 20th anniversary is something that is going to be a collector's item in the future, because obviously it's only going to be available during our anniversary, and there's a whole range of interesting things that you can take home, from autograph books to statuettes, from clothing items and hats. I personally don't have a favourite yet, but I also haven't had time to go and explore all of the shops, but I will be doing over the next couple of weeks.
And 20 years on, how does Mickey stay looking so young?
It's just the magic of Disney. I wish I had the same recipe.